Good afternoon, it's Jamie here at Lowdhams. Congratulations on the sale of the Autotrail. What I'm going to do now is a step-by-step informative video on some key points to the van that you can always refer back on should you need to when you're hooking up to the campsite. While we sat on this side, I thought we'd go down the driver's side. So to start, we've got the electric hookup, which is pretty straightforward, the power to the van. You've got the toilet cassette just there, which we'll go through in more detail when you collect. We've got the gas low system for preparation and storage of gas, so there's no bottles or anything like that. And then the beauty of the Autotrails is you've got both the waste and the fresh water in the same place. So the blue one being the fresh water, the grey one being the waste. So any period of time you're not going to be using the vehicle, just drain both those off and job done. So we're inside the vehicle now, and the main one, so I've already gone through the fresh and the waste, is the boiler release. So it's currently in the lock position. So pushing it around there will dump all the water out of the boiler. It's a very important feature that you need to do, especially in the winter and periods of time that you're not going to be using the vehicle. And then once you're using again, you lock it off and fill up. Also at the back in this vehicle, it's very nice and easy. You've got all of the gas isolation points. So any period of time, if you go on the shuttle or the ferry, you may get inspected, so you just need to make sure that they're all isolated off. So moving on to the control panel and the heating and hot water, you've got the main on-off button there, which powers the vehicle up. You've got the lights, interior and the awning light. You can also check your battery levels, which come across there, as you can see, fully charged. You can go through the actual screen on there to change times and dates and everything. And then the water pump, so once you've got water in the boiler and it's heated up, you press the water pump and that will pump it in when you're using the shower or the taps themselves. Onto the hot water as well, so you've got two control panels here, and you can see waving your hand across will automatically bring the lights on. This one being the water and that one being the heating. So the flame indicates that you want to heat the water up on gas, and the squiggly lines will indicate that you want to heat the water up on electric. Exactly the same applies for the heating, and you can change the heating controls there. Leaving it on the half moon is your night setting, and then on this one, if you go up and down to the leaf is 40 degrees, and full speed, full blowers is 70 degrees for the water. So going back to the gas low, again, you don't have any bottles because that's where you fill it up. So you literally twist this, go into a fuel station, plug in, and you will automatically fill up with gas. It will automatically shut off when it's full. And then you've also got this little indication here, which you can see quarter, half, 3/4 and full. So you can keep a check on that. And that's your sensor for your onboard tank to keep an eye on how much gas you've got. And then finally on the toilet cassette, if you've not used one of these before, so you've got your habitation key that will lock that securely in place so you can keep it locked and secure. Then when opening the toilet cassette itself, you literally just lift up, it will fully release like that. If it doesn't release and come out as easy as that, you haven't shut the toilet off inside, which we'll go through on handover, but you will literally twist that around, empty out, back in again. You can also open this door, that's to put your chemicals in as well for breaking everything down when you go on holidays and you're going to be using that. And then it slips straight into place like that, locks in, lock the door, turn the key, we're all nice and safe. So while we're around on the habitation side as well, thought I'd point out your diesel fill up. So again, you need the engine key to open the diesel itself. The AdBlue is just at the bottom. If you're familiar with AdBlue, it'll automatically come up on the display. You don't need to do anything. The vehicle will tell you itself when it needs topping up, and it will come up in 1,000 increments. So you've got plenty of time to know exactly how much you need to put in. So finally, I just want to touch on the toilet, as I mentioned outside. So you've got a little grey lever just underneath the toilet. Moving it across to the right would open the toilet. So you'd move it across to the right, use the vehicle, use the toilet, press the flush, and then across to the left to lock it over. So right is open, left is locked, and left is the position it needs to be in when you're going to be emptying your toilet cassette. If you do ever need to change a fuse, it's situated behind the driver's seat. So just under here is your main fuse box. So if any period of time you're away and something isn't working, it's always an idea you can buy a little packet of fuses, and then you can check in there just to make sure that everything's running, and it would be a trial and error of taking out which one, replacing them, and then you'll be up and running again, ready to enjoy the camper. That's a full handover of the Autotrail 610. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday to pick up your new camper. Thanks very much.